Hello, I'm Heidi. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm a counsellor, and this is our podcast. We are all fine, flawed, insecure, nervous, and emotional. And it's a podcast where we talk about real stuff that affects young people. And today we're diving into something you've probably heard a lot about, but might not fully know about or fully trust yet. And that's positive affirmations. You know the type, those little phrases like, I am enough or I can do this. They're everywhere, aren't they? I use them. I share them with my clients. They're on Instagram, TikTok, and of course they'll be all over your friends' stories. But today I'm going to ask the question, do they actually work? And what do you do when your brain yells back, no, they don't? Stay tuned in. We're going to talk about what affirmations really are, why they sometimes feel weird or a little bit fake, and how to make them actually helpful in your day-to-day. I'm going to start the show by talking about how positive affirmations have turned up for me in my life and how I've actually used them to help me and benefit me. When I first started working as a counsellor many years ago, I quickly realised that while I was learning so much about helping others, I was often my own toughest critic. After a long day of sessions, my mind would replay moments where I thought I could have said something better or been more present. And now that voice of doubt would always sneak in and it would whisper things like, am I really making any difference? Or, you're not cut out for this. It really was quite a harsh critic. That's when I discovered the power of positive affirmations, not just for my clients, but for myself. And I began practicing really simple daily affirmations. It was something like, I am enough just as I am. I am growing and learning with every session. I am here to listen and support, not to be perfect. I would write these everywhere, usually in a diary, on a post-it note. And I would just gently in the morning when I was maybe putting my makeup on, I'd just look at myself in the mirror and I would repeat them. Heidi, you've got this. You're good. People are coming back. I would just be sending very short positive affirmations to my own brain. Now, they did feel strange at first, especially looking in the mirror. I didn't like that, but it did feel a bit weird. But over time, those affirmations became a way to gently quieten down my inner critic and remind myself that being human, being me, means making mistakes, learning, but I was showing up every single day with empathy and compassion, not just for my clients, but what those positive affirmations make me do was turn that energy, that positivity, that power on myself. And we very rarely do that. We'll tell everybody else, you're fantastic, you're brilliant, well done for doing this, that, and the other. But do you really stop and say that to yourself? And I guess that's what I'm just trying to gently nudge in front of you today. That's a positive affirmation. Anything you repeat to yourself regularly. Now, it might not feel right at the beginning, but the more you do these types of things, the more connected you become with those words and the more they become natural to you. And then guess what? You start to feel them. I'll just share this with you too. It's actually quite personal, but I was diagnosed with breast cancer about 5 years ago now, just over. And it was 2 or 3 months after COVID. So you can imagine how hard it was going for chemotherapy, my operation, all my checkups. They were all done online. It was really, really isolating and obviously very scary. I waited weeks and weeks before I found out if the cancer had spread or how serious it was. After the chemo, did it work? You're in this horrible, horrible dark waiting room all the time for scans and appointments. And I was slowly going mad throughout some of these times, as most people do, but I needed something to cling to. I was reading a lot. I was listening to a lot of podcasts. I was meditating, anything I could find that would really settle me as I waited, because I couldn't make these appointments come around any sooner. And there was one thing I was doing. I had a coaster in my office. I was still counselling at the time, but on the flip side of this counsellor, on the flip side of this coaster on my desk, so obviously I'm online at this point because it was COVID, I'd written my affirmation and it's still on my desk 5 years later. And it says this, it says, every day in every way, I get stronger and stronger and healthier and healthier. Now, I must have read that thousands of times. But when I was wobbling, when I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die, I'm going to leave my kids, I'm never going to be able to have the life, I'm not going to get to 50. I read it over and over and over again. Now, whether you believe that or not, I was lucky. I'm one of those lucky ones. I'm still sitting here 5 years later, but it was my mind that I needed to help. And I honestly, to this day, and I still use positive affirmations, that one, when I say it out loud, even to you, and I read it on my desk, I immediately feel better. I feel stronger and I feel healthier. But what they do for me, as they do for you, is they'll help you reset, stay grounded, and return to whatever it is you were doing with a clearer heart and mind. Using affirmations has not only helped me manage my own self-doubt, but also deepened my empathy for the people like you who I support every day. It reminds me that healing is a journey for them and for me. So first up, what are positive affirmations? At their simplest, affirmations are positive statements you repeat to yourself to encourage good feelings or beliefs about yourself. Exactly what I was doing with my breast cancer and with my counselling training. They're like little pep talks that you give you and your brain. But, and this is important, they're not magic spells. Saying I am confident once isn't going to suddenly turn you into some kind of superhero. Think of affirmations like workouts for your mind. The more you repeat them, the more your brain starts to believe them, slowly rewiring how you think about yourself. So, for example, if you often think I'm not good enough, massive, popular, common core belief, that can begin to shift very regularly. You can change your story by saying things to yourself like, I am learning and growing every day. It's about planting new seeds of belief that lead to bigger levels of confidence. And I know all of you listening to this will want a little piece of that. Now let's talk about why affirmations can sometimes feel really hard or even downright fake. If your brain's been so used to negative self-talk or negative thinking for years, I'm not smart enough, I never get this right, I'm dull, I'm stupid, nobody wants me, suddenly telling yourself, I'm worthy, I am lovable, can sound like a massive fat lie. That's totally normal. Your brain is wired to notice what's familiar, and harsh self-criticism can be and is painfully familiar, isn't it? So what do you do when I am enough feels like a little bit of a stretch? You're going to try tweaking your affirmations so they feel more believable. So instead of I am enough straight in at the deep end, which I get can feel a little bit wavy, a little bit wrong, you can start to be more kind and gentle and real. And I'm going to give you this one. I am open to believing I am enough. How fabulous is that? I am open. You're inviting in the possibility of believing you are enough. Okay, you're flawed, insecure, nervous and emotional, but you are enough. Or I am learning to be kinder to myself. These small shifts can help your brain ease into new ideas without you and your naughty inner critic pushing back too hard. I work closely with my clients to help them understand what's happening behind the scenes, especially inside their brains. When it comes to positive affirmations, it's not just about repeating those nice, gentle, flowery phrases. There's real science, now listen to this, that explains why affirmations can change how we feel or think. Now, our brains are absolutely incredibly adaptable, like plasticine, think Play-Doh. That's how your brain matter feels like. It can be bended into all different shapes. So when we repeat positive affirmations regularly, we start to build neural pathways, kind of like creating new mental highways that support healthier, kinder self-beliefs. This process is called neuroplasticity. It means that with practice, we can actually rewire our brains to notice the good, believe in ourselves more, and feel less stuck in negative self-talk. So using positive affirmations isn't about pretending or forcing positivity, oh no. It's about gently training your brain to shift its focus and build new habits of thought. And the best part, this rewiring happens over time with consistent, patient practice. Just like going to the gym, just like learning to drive, just like passing an exam. Whatever you put in, you get out. Affirmations aren't about pretending you're perfect or magically changing overnight. That is nonsense. They're about encouraging yourself to grow, Embrace your progress and celebrate those little wins along the way. So, all of you listening, here are 5 super helpful tips to help you to start using your own affirmations right now when you finish this podcast. Number 1, personalise them. Just as I did, I made them specific to my situations, but use words that feel meaningful and true to you. For example, I am learning to trust myself might resonate more than I am confident. Number 2, use present tense and positive language. Instead of something like, I will not fail, try, I am doing my best. It really does feel more comfortable, doesn't it? I am doing my best lands, feels softer than I will not fail. That feels more like you're setting yourself up for personal failure. Number 3, repeat them regularly. Try saying your affirmations during every moment of the day, the calm moments, the not so calm moments. Attach them to another habit, maybe brushing your teeth or before you go to bed, or when you're lying in bed, if you're meditating, pop your affirmation right in there. Even when you're going down and making a cup of tea, or put it somewhere you can see it like I did on my coaster. I can flip the coaster the other way around, no one else can see it. But it reminds you, it stimulates your brain, it gives you a little nudge, and it's about building the positive habit. Number 4, remember to pair your affirmations with grounding. So take a nice deep breath in, feel your feet on the floor, and say your affirmations slowly, 2 for the price of 1. This helps anchor the words in your body so you can feel them a little bit more, as well as saying them and watching those words just float out of your mind. And number 5, be patient and kind with yourself. It's normal if it feels awkward or forced at first, but like any new habit, it takes practice. And if it sounds a little bit silly, I am learning to trust myself sitting on the bus, going up to college, uni or work. Smile while you're saying it and just wrap yourself around in some self-compassion. Your inner critic is there, always there, shouting, barking, screaming at you. Positive affirmations aren't about ignoring the hard stuff or pretending everything is perfect, because it's not. They're about changing the stories you tell yourself. You're approaching your life differently through positive affirmations and kind, calmer words. So try picking just 3 affirmations this week, write them down, say them out loud, and see how they make you feel. Don't worry if it's a bit weird, that's part of the process. You're building new mental muscles, and that will take you time. Thank you for listening to We Are All Fine, Flawed, Insecure, Nervous and Emotional with your host, Heidi Lester. I am a counsellor and psychotherapist, and if this episode helped you, share it with a friend who might need a little extra kindness today. You can subscribe to my show and follow me on all the usual social media challenges. I post daily videos designed to support you, your mental health and the way you manage it. Now, looking to next week, if social anxiety is something you suffer with, please join me for episode 25. I'm thinking if you've ever felt your heart racing when you've walked into a new class, a party, or even a coffee shop, that nervous, twisted knot in your stomach, the fear you're going to be watched or judged. Let's talk about what it is, why it shows up, and what we can do together to manage it while it is present. We are all flawed, insecure, nervous and emotional, but always remember, be yourself. You are no one else. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Get those 3 affirmations and know you're doing better than you think. Finally, some important takeaways. The podcast is for informational use only and should not be used as a substitution for professional advice or for personal diagnosis. These opinions are personal, and I do not guarantee the accuracy of such opinions or information. I'm not intending to create a counselling relationship with you, and you should always consult a qualified mental health professional with any concerns.